Even the Wall Street Journal editorial page wrote today, quote, "It's puzzling Trump would name someone with such little experience." Your reaction?
But he did name him, and that's the issue here. Look, the fact that it's partisan is nothing new. All the Democrats voted for Joe Biden's nominees, and other Republicans voted for them 4 years ago. Go back to 2017, all the Republicans voted for Donald Trump's nominees. None of the Democrats voted for them. There's exceptions, obviously, but generally speaking,
there have been lots of exceptions, actually. It's not always that way.
It's not always that way, but it's very often that way. It was that way with me. I mean, we fell almost entirely along Republican lines. Republicans voted for me, Democrats voted against. You're going to see that again and again. I don't think there was a single Democrat during the Biden cabinet who voted against a single Biden nominee, but that's not the issue. The issue is, look, Donald Trump has nominated this person, and the question is, does the president get the person that he wants? Yes, the Senate gets to advise and consent. That's why we're going through this process. But it's important to remember, Pete Hegseth is not running for office. He's not running for anything at all. He's essentially a nominee for Donald Trump. Says, look, I want this person to go run the Defense Department for me, yes or no. I think he's probably going to get confirmed. I don't think he was ever going to get any Democrat votes at this level. There will be. Marco Rubio will get some Democrat votes. There's an unwritten rule that senators vote for senators and so forth. But generally speaking, I thought he did exactly what he was supposed to do today. The Republican senators did what they were supposed to do. The Democrat senators did what they were supposed to. Kurt would tell you this is a song and dance, and now the song is over.
Kurt, what do you make of this? I mean, we're not just talking about his lack of experience. Many said today it's his lack of character, that he's been accused of public drunkenness and showing up drunk at work, that he was also accused of sexual assault and paid the woman to keep her quiet. Even ardent Trump supporter Greg Kelly, who's a former Marine pilot, wrote this week that this disqualifies him, that there's a long-standing executive order signed back in 1953 that explicitly bars people with vulnerabilities such as blackmail from serving in positions of national security.
Well, the American people heard some of that case made about Donald Trump, and they voted him president of the United States again. So I think we live in a time where those types of things, whatever you might think of his character or his personal relationships, they're not disqualifying. American people have pretty much closed the book on that in their election of Donald Trump, who himself faced a myriad of accusations about his own personal conduct, and ultimately the voters don't care. And I think that's the thing that Democrats kind of miss the boat on sometimes. When you play this game at these committee hearings, and mixed, right, you kind of have a role to play, and everyone does this on each side of it, but you look a little out of touch. I would much rather they have spent their time drilling down on substantive policy. We have two major conflicts going on right now with Russia, Ukraine, and obviously the situation in the Middle East, potentially a situation with Taiwan and China. I'd much rather hear the conversation be about those substantive policy things, because that's what's going to have the most impact on DOD, on our troops and service members, on their families. What is the policy going to be regarding those hotbed conflicts? How are you going to manage resources and allocate? Because ultimately, that's what you will be held accountable for. The most disastrous thing that happened in the Joe Biden presidency was the mismanagement of the withdrawal from Afghanistan. These are the real substantive, tangible things that affect lives in a very real way. I think Democrats would be better focusing on stuff like that.
Mick, the FBI, in his background report, did not interview several key witnesses. They didn't interview the woman who accused him of sexual assault. They didn't interview one of his ex-wives who called repeatedly saying she would like to testify and give them information. Why didn't they do that?
I don't know. That's a really good question. That surprises me. Keep in mind, the FBI that's doing that is technically the Biden FBI. The Trump team hasn't taken over at the Department of Justice or at the FBI yet. So I don't know why. If I had to guess, it'd be an educated guess, but still a guess, is that they didn't think it would be relevant to what they were taking a look at. Typically, they do go fairly deep into your background. Again, everything you've done pretty much, and I've been through this process for Senate confirmation, since you were 18 years old. That's what this is about, is tell us everything you've done since you were 18, and then we're going to go and investigate it, and then give it to your political enemies. So, but Kurt is right. Look, listen, the question about whether or not someone was drunk at a Christmas party 10 years ago probably doesn't matter nearly as much as the position, say, on women in the military. So
I think the accusations, though, Mick, you know that, listen, you've served in the Trump cabinet before. You know how important the position of defense secretary is. You know that they get, I mean, I interviewed former defense secretary on this show a few weeks ago, and he said he slept 4.5 hours during the whole time that he was defense secretary. It is a 24/7 24/7 job. You get calls all hours of the night. And the accusations against Hegseth go over many, many, many years. Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.